Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you...
Hi everybody, we're in Chiang Mai.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Before we get into this video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like this video and ring that little bell for some notifications.
If you're not already, go ahead and follow us on Instagram at our.true.life and our Facebook is ourtrulife. What are we about to do now? We're gonna get into the video.
Cheeseball Express. So this week we're in Chiang Mai and it's super awesome. We love it here. The vibe here is really cool because it's like this college town, hip, young college town because there's a big university here, but then also old and traditional and everything you would imagine, kind of like Thailand being, all mixed into one city, and it's super rad. There's this part of probably the most well-known part of Chiang Mai, which is called Old Town or Old City, and it is right smack dab in the middle of Chiang Mai, and it's this city that is surrounded by a moat and like an old wall, kind of like a castle almost, and so it's like this really awesome old city, like tucked away right in the middle of the city. And I've always heard about Old Town. I had no idea it was like a town surrounded by a moat and a castle.
Look around us, there ain't no fences, just bridges to the ears of the listeners. On deck, take a swing, sharper senses, looking for a weakness in the system. Finally, it's you and me, here shaking like a tambourine. We in this finally, both sides of the cemetery. Attention people, y'all get ready, this is for everybody. Try to catch up, we out here. Let me introduce to you. Try to catch up, we out here. That future hit. Are you ready? That future hit. Take a minute to refrain from acting green. If you're losing, you should join another team. Y'all should breathe, let me play another theme. At the start, this one nothing but a dream. Now it feels like victory, about to live another fantasy. Everybody clap with me.
So we just got done at the Sunday night market. We are in our second tuk-tuk. And we're going home. Right, Courtney?
Yeah, these two are party poopers.
This one. So the best thing that we've experienced here, by far, is food.
The food here is so good.
So good.
All the Thai food you could ever want.
I love spicy food and it has been like a dream here. I don't want to leave at all. But what's really cool is, speaking of like the moat, the old town is like a square, like Courtney said, that's surrounded by like a moat. So outside there's tons and tons of street markets, food markets, all that stuff surrounded there. But then also inside the Old Town is like tons of really cool restaurants, authentic Thai food. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And the spice here is real. So
Courtney.
I used to not like spicy food at all. Like I was a 0-star kind of thing. I was a 0-star kind of person. But you know, I've gotten pretty good. Like I could do most spicy foods now. But here they put whole peppers in everything, and some of their peppers don't really look like peppers. So I was eating this like delicious salad leftover from a
restaurant that we went to the night before.
Yeah, so I was eating this delicious salad. It was leftovers from a restaurant we went to the night before. So good, had like fresh calamari and lots of lime juice, and it was just delicious. And there's like onions and other green things in there, and I come upon this vegetable that I thought was a green bean. So I put it on my fork and just
ate the whole thing.
Eat the whole thing.
And instantly it was like, ugh!
It was not a green bean. It was definitely some like little skinny pepper. I
laughed.
I legit thought that my insides were burning.
As many of you, if you don't know, the smaller the pepper, the hotter it is. And this thing was literally like that big. So it was hot.
I was burning from the inside out. I felt like a literal fire-breathing dragon. It was terrible.
And we've been staying in an Airbnb, so we don't have like milk or anything like that, which normally you would drink to kind of counteract a spicy food. So all we had was water.
Friggin' orange juice and water.
Which water makes it worse.
So I was like sitting there with giant gulps of orange juice just sitting in my mouth. It was terrible.
So the day that we went up to the temple on the mountain, we actually went to a waterfall that was really close to it. So Truman loves the water, like absolutely loves water. It's so hard to keep him away from pools, from rivers, waterfalls, especially waterfalls. So we went to this waterfall. It was really cool because you could walk around and there's like, it's like on this hillside that kind of goes down into a ravine where there's like a bunch of people's houses and stuff like that the stream runs through. But you can just sit on top of this mountain where there's water all around you running around. You can hear the water crashing against the rocks and it's just so peaceful.
Truman loves it. What is so cool is like when we first got there, I don't want to say what is so cool. So when we first got there, Truman, the very first thing he notices is like, whoa, look at those big rocks. And that, I know it sounds so small and just like, okay, he noticed rocks. But like in that moment when he said that, I was like, yeah. Like I didn't even notice the rocks and it's like the first thing he notices. And it just made me think like how fast we move through everything and we don't even take it in. It's like getting to, everything is trying to get to the next thing as opposed to just enjoying the thing that's there, whether it's the landscape with a bunch of rocks or a waterfall or a river or driving down the road or walking upstairs, whatever it may be. But Truman's really good at that. He notices the big rocks and he thinks they're so cool. And we walk downtown and he's like, look at that huge tree. And things that like we just don't even notice anymore. So that's one major takeaway for me in Chiang Mai is just taking time to notice things and like being present in the moment as opposed to like trying already to get to the next thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah, or like if we have a day planned out, like, okay, we're gonna go here, here, here. Not necessarily just being, okay, we've done this, okay, check it off, we're gonna go to the next place, but like literally taking the whole journey.
Yeah, because you ever notice like when you're planning out a day and like you've got all of these things to do, and when you're in one thing, you're not in it, you're thinking about the next thing that you had planned, and it's just like one giant checklist. But the waterfall was beautiful. The rocks were so slippery. Truman loved it. He wanted to climb all the way to the top of the waterfall and slide all the way down, which wasn't gonna happen.
We're on our way to the top temple. So we just went up the windiest road of our life. Both Courtney and I felt super sick. Now we got a bunch of stairs. How you doing, Courtney? Not good, huh?
His head is so heavy right now. It's like a bobblehead.
We're almost there.
This way, buddy.
Here's the view. So we went to a specific temple in the old town, which is called the Wat Chedi Long temple. I think we're pronouncing that right. It was crazy. So it's a 14th century temple. You don't really see the whole temple, you just see like this mountain.
Like a giant rock.
It looks like there's like a building carved into it. And in front of it, there's a newer temple that was built. So we went to that temple, we got to see all the crazy artwork and...
The monks were in...
prayer session?
Yeah, the monks were in there like praying, which was super cool to see them. But then we went around back and we went to that old temple, and it's a fort. It's an old temple, and the construction of it started in the 14th century, and it didn't end up getting finished till the 15th century. But it was like, it was probably the coolest like ancient building we've seen so far, because it actually, like, it legitimately looked ancient.
Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this week. Again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ding the little bell to get notified when we post.
And follow us on our Instagram at our.true.life.
See you guys next week.
Future hit. Take a minute to refrain from acting green. If you're losing, you should join another team. Y'all should breathe, let me play another theme. At the start, this one nothing but a dream.